עתירת הישגים. מדינה שכולנו יחד בונים אותה.
How do you protect it?
Welcome to the Frontline YouTube channel. Violence is spreading across the Middle East, causing more casualties every day. Authorities continue to do everything in their power to solve the region's problems. In fact, many Western countries are taking an interest in the conflict as if they were fighting for their own territories. The war has captured Lebanon from the very beginning. As we know, Lebanon has been home to many conflicts since the terrible attack by Hamas. The inhabitants of the region express their sadness at the loss of a peaceful life. Aggressive groups often use this region because of its proximity to Israel. The other day, aggressor groups launched an attack on Lebanese territory. Following this attack, the Israel Defense Forces said that 4 of its soldiers were wounded. The army said the incident occurred during an operational activity carried out by a reconnaissance unit of the Golani Brigade and elite Yahalom Combat Engineering Unit troops on the Lebanese side of the border, a few hundred meters from the Israeli fence. According to the IDF, 1 soldier was seriously wounded, 2 were in moderate condition, and another was lightly wounded. The soldiers were taken by helicopter from Lebanese territory to an Israeli hospital. Hezbollah, which claimed responsibility for the explosion, said a large number of explosives were planted on Lebanese territory in an area opposite the northern Israeli community of Adamit. The attacking group said the bombs were detonated as Israeli troops crossed the border. Following this incident, the IDF mobilized. The IDF said its warplanes struck Hezbollah sites in southern Lebanon. According to the army, the targets included rocket launching points, buildings used by the aggressor group, and other infrastructure in Sedakin, Matmura, Labuna, and Aita ash-Shab. The army added that troops also shelled areas near Aita ash-Shab to eliminate threats. Lebanon's state-run national news agency reported that an alleged Israeli airstrike hit a house in Hanin, outside the southern city of Bint Jbeil. The report said the explosion was stronger than normal and could be heard in the Nabatia area of southern Lebanon. Some officials claim the blast was heard in Tyre, about 22 kilometers, 13.5 miles away. Pictures posted on the internet show a large plume of black smoke from the alleged attack. All these clashes are only the beginning of a much larger event. The Israeli army and Lebanese Hezbollah exchanged fire this morning. As the aggressor group launched 2 attack aircraft into northern Israel, it was preparing the end of its own commanders. 2 Hezbollah commanders were shot dead by the Israeli army this morning. According to local officials, 3 people were lightly wounded in the Hezbollah drone attack. The Israel Defense Forces said 2 drones loaded with explosives struck areas close to the northern community of Beit Hillel. Hezbollah claimed it targeted an Iron Dome battery in the area.
Iron Dome is a weapon system.
The attacking group has made similar claims in recent months, which the IDF dismissed as empty boasting. The IDF said it was investigating why sirens did not sound during the attack. Footage circulating on social media purportedly shows one of the drones flying over the Galilee Panhandle. Shortly after the drone strike, Lebanese media reported that 1 person was killed in an Israeli drone strike on a vehicle in the town of Ain Baal near Tyre, about 15 kilometers, 9 miles, from the Israeli border. The IDF later confirmed that it had carried out the attack and said it had targeted and eliminated Hezbollah's coastal area commander. The army said that Ismail Youssef Baz, whose rank was equivalent to brigade commander, was a senior official in Hezbollah's military wing and held several positions, the last of which was commander of the coastal region. As part of his role, Ismail Youssef Baz was involved in the advancement and planning of rocket and anti-tank missile launches from Lebanon's coastal region against the State of Israel. The liquidated attacker organized and planned a series of terrorist attacks against Israel during the war. Hezbollah announced Baz's death, saying he was killed on the Jerusalem Road, the term used for agents killed in Israeli attacks. Since October 8th, Hezbollah has been attacking Israeli communities and border military outposts on a daily basis with rockets, drones, anti-tank missiles, and other means. Hezbollah says it is doing this to support it in the midst of the war in Gaza. The group is Iran's proxy in Lebanon, and the Palestinian aggressor groups Hamas and Palestinian Jihad are supported by Iran. Baz was the 6th Hezbollah officer with a rank equivalent to brigade commander to be killed by Israel in recent months, according to the IDF. The army said more than 30 Hezbollah commanders have been eliminated in attacks over the past 6 months. This number has been very painful for Hezbollah. With the loss of its commanders, Hezbollah also lost a large part of its operational strength. Hours later, Lebanese media reported that 2 Hezbollah members were killed in another drone strike on a vehicle in the town of Chehabieh. The IDF later claimed responsibility for the attack, saying it targeted a commander in Hezbollah's elite Radwan force. According to the IDF, Mohammed Shahouri was the commander of the Radwan's Western Region rocket unit. The army released footage of the attack, saying Shahouri was killed while driving in the village of Kafar Dunin, neighboring Chehabieh. The IDF said Shahouri was responsible for the planning and execution of several rocket attacks on the Israeli home front from western and central southern Lebanon. In addition to Shahouri, another Hezbollah commander, Mahmoud Fadlallah, was killed in the attack. The IDF said he was also a member of Hezbollah's rocket unit.
Hezbollah announced that both were killed.
The IDF said it also carried out attacks on buildings used by Hezbollah, where officials gathered in the towns of Ain Bal, Alma Ash-Shab, Hanin, and Yarun. The IDF said several rockets were fired into northern Israel throughout the day, causing no injuries. It added that troops shelled the launch sites with artillery. Israel threatened to go to war to drive Hezbollah away from the border if it did not withdraw, and continued to threaten communities in the north, where some 70,000 people had been evacuated to avoid clashes. Despite all the casualties, Hezbollah has been carrying out operations against Israel under the pretext of supporting the aggressor, Hamas. This demonstrates that Hezbollah is a violent aggressor group in all circumstances. In the wake of all this, the IDF has taken some decisions regarding the attack launched by Iran this past weekend. The IDF has decided how to counterattack Iran and its proxies. However, the IDF has not yet decided on the timing. Since the timing is still fluid and due to all the complex preparations required, the current decision may change. Nevertheless, the development of a decision shows the seriousness and determination of the Israeli leadership to retaliate. But all indications are that Jerusalem is still trying to suppress the attack in order to avoid being dragged into a regional war. IDF Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Herzi Halevi hinted during a visit to the 136th Battalion's Arrow Air Defense Battery that the timing of the attack was not imminent. Halevi continued, "We are implementing a home front policy that will allow citizens to live almost as normal, at least during this Passover week, because we have full confidence in you and your preparation. It is also possible that the home front command policies and other officials who continue with their regular programs are part of a clever deception to lower the guard of Iran and its proxies. But at least a direct reading of the relevant signals suggests that a major attack in the coming days is not imminent and may even be postponed for a longer period. The anticipated options for an attack range from the middle of the road, such as attacking Iran's nuclear facilities, to more limited options. Still, some signals indicated that the Air Force would be involved in an unusually important target. Defense Minister Yoav Gallant made the following statement yesterday. The Iranians have failed to attack and will fail to deter Israel. The skies over the Middle East are wide open to the Israeli Air Force. Any enemy that comes after us will be shot down wherever he is. Right now, many officials in Israel are working hard to minimize the social damage caused by the attack and to find a lasting solution to all of this. Thank you for tuning in.